What's up? Alright, so I'm gonna tell you guys a story about something that happened between two people, we'll call them person one and person two, while they were at the beach. All you've gotta do is tell me who was innocent. Ready? Alright, let's go. So, person one and person two were both at the beach on the same day. One was taking a walk down the shore, and two was laying down in the sand. One turns and sees two laying down in the sand and decides to go over there. Before two can even say a word, one steps on two. So two yells out loud, "Hey, you stepped on me!" One responds and says, "It's no big deal, plus you were asking for it." Two is shocked. "How was I asking for it?" Then all of a sudden, somebody who was nearby jumps in and says, "If you didn't want anybody stepping on you, you shouldn't have been laying in the sand in the first place." So one hears this and kind of just turns away and starts walking down the shore again. Lastly, there were a bunch of other people who saw the whole thing, but just decided to mind their own business and stay out of it. Now, you tell me, in this situation, was anybody right or innocent? Was anybody wrong or guilty? And was anybody in between? Pause the video if you want to think or talk about it with the person next to you, and then I'll give my opinion. Okay, three things. First, one walked up and stepped on two. Stepped, that's a verb. That means one did something. Therefore, one is wrong. Straight facts. Second, two did nothing to deserve it. As a matter of fact, two didn't do anything at all. It doesn't matter if two was laying on the ground because one made the decision and the action of stepping on person two. Therefore, two is innocent. Period. Third, of all the people who spoke up, did you notice that nobody said anything to person one? Everybody had something to say to person two about how the situation would have been different if they weren't laying on the ground in the first place. Okay, I know this seems really random, but it's not. What this is a metaphor for sexual violence, harassment, abuse, assault. It's so important to understand that when people are sexually assaulted, somebody had to assault them first. Sometimes we treat assaults and violence like rain falling from the sky or just the occurrence of a natural disaster like an earthquake. Look, we can't help it if it starts raining and we don't have an umbrella and the rain falls on us, or if an earthquake strikes and we just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Those events are out of our control. But if a person wants to step on another human being, they have to control their body parts in order to execute that action. If a person makes the decision to violate another human being's body, then it is that person's fault. However, a lot of times we'll often ask the victim or the survivor what they did to deserve it. And that just doesn't make any sense. If we're gonna ask the victim or survivor anything at all, it should be about what they want to do, if we can help them, and if so, how we can do that. In terms of the perpetrator, what's the first thing we learn in school? Keep your hands to yourself. But the problem is that we start growing up and seeing things on TV and in movies and online where people just do whatever they want to somebody. And the scripts are written so that that somebody never ever says no. But it's not realistic because it's all scripted. But we grow up thinking it's realistic. It gets us thinking from a very early age that that's just how it's supposed to be. So everything is framed in this way that if someone doesn't want to do something, they'll naturally think that it's rude or corny or selfish to say no. That is false. That is incorrect. That's wrong. This is why we have to stop blaming victims and survivors for attracting their perpetrators and assailants. What do I mean by that? Where were you? Who were you with? What time was it?
Were you by yourself?
What kind of clothes did you have on?
Were you drinking?
How drunk were you? What exactly were you wearing? What did you say?
Did you say no?
Did you yell? Did you fight?
Why didn't you fight?
Why'd you let it happen? Why do I have 3 wigs and a mannequin head? I don't know. All those questions are examples of victim blaming where we end up blaming the victim for what happened by asking them questions like it was their fault. Why not ask the person who did it why they did what they did? We've got to put the blame on the perpetrators for perpetrating. We cannot just sit back and accept or not realize that a lot of the media we consume and language that we use, bro, I just got raped by that text, is constantly making us care less than we should about sexual violence. What I just explained is the definition of rape culture, and rape culture is how rapists are made. The truth is that no one is born a rapist, just like no one is born a racist. People are taught these things. These behaviors and beliefs become ingrained in people by the societies that they live in. In America, we are taught by the media that we can do whatever we want, whenever we want, to whomever we want. And the craziest thing is that because this idea is wherever we look, there are actually times where someone will assault somebody else and not even realize that they did something wrong. But the good news is that we have the power to change rape culture. We can literally reprogram how our culture thinks about sexual violence just by changing how we think and talk about it. Just by changing what we allow ourselves to see. Just by changing the type of media that we consume and produce. And just by making sure to actively teach people from an early age what is right, what is wrong, and just how to respect other people. According to RAINN, the Rape and Incest National Network, people commit acts of sexual violence every 107 seconds in America alone. That's over 800 times a day. And that's just an estimate. That statistic will not slow down until we take this problem so seriously that every time we hear about a person assaulting another human being, we all feel a sense of responsibility as a community to make sure that justice is served, people are educated about it, and most importantly, that the victim or survivor is supported and healing takes place. If you want to learn more about sexual violence, rape culture, statistics, how to get help, or how to help others, check out the links that I put in the description below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more serious content like this, as well as some lighthearted and funny content that I'll be posting every single week. My name is Chaz Smith, and this is Simply Put.